Looks like we got another family member showing up. Oh, man, the pressure's on.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Talladega Super Speedway, round number 9 of the Multi-League Cup Series, presented by Stone River Outfitters. Myself, I'm Scott Patton up here in New Hampshire. I'm joined in the booth by Ken Huber out in Montana. How's it going out there, Ken?
Hey, it's going pretty good out here from Whitefish, Montana. The weather is sunshine and warm, and looking forward to a very hot day here at Talladega. 2.5 miles, I guess, to get this thing figured out tonight.
Yeah, 2.5, just over 2.5, 2.66, I think, to be exact. And we're doing 85 laps tonight on the high banks. High speed, super speedway style racing should be action packed. If it's anything like the cup race yesterday, I think we're in for quite the exciting race here tonight.
Yeah, I can imagine already. The chat's lighting up here on YouTube there, Scott. Got Greg Mall chiming in when he should be out there trying to get a qualifying lap in, I would suspect.
I would think so. We'll see if it affects his speed at all as these guys line up for qualifying. We are 1 minute into qualifying right now. It's 5 minutes on the clock, 4 minutes remaining, and we'll see if we can catch a couple cars out there. See who's on the track here.
I'm looking at Vernon Margheim. He's out there on the track currently. Yeah, we got a few drivers out there. They're all starting to hit the track now there, Scott.
Yeah, let's take a look at Vernon just for the sake of qualifying here, see what the technique is. A little bit different around Talladega. I think they have 2 laps, it looks like. This is the warm-up lap for Vernon. He's going to be going up high on the high lane, all the way against the wall to try to get as much speed as he can before coming to the green flag for his hot lap, I guess you could say. It'd be probably his second lap for qualifying. That's where they're going to be glued around that bottom, that yellow line there, to get the fastest way around the track, the shortest way around, all the way in the bottom. So see what Vernon does here off of turn 4.
Yeah, it's been my experience, T. Scott, that first lap, that first winded up lap is kind of a throwaway lap. And until you can get that second lap in, like I think you were saying.
Yep, there we see Vernon through the tri-oval there, dive to the bottom. And this will be the beginning of his hot lap here. We'll see what he can put down.
And while Vernon's putting that lap down, I got some more people chiming in the chat. Gene Daly, Justin Fleischman, all saying hi. Hello, everyone.
Welcome everybody who's watching out there. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button. Helps you, helps us, helps everybody. You get a notification when we go live so you don't miss any of these races upcoming on Monday nights as part of the Stone River Cup Series. And welcome everybody who's joining us tonight. Glad you're here and enjoy the race. Pick your favorite driver, throw it in the chat. If you want to see something specific, throw it in there, and Ken Huber is going to be monitoring the chat pretty much all night for you.
And we got Vernon Margheim down on the apron finishing out his hot lap here, and he's taking my spot and doing the Huber hot lap tonight. I guess we'll have to call this the Vernon hot lap.
Vernon hot lap. Looks like I'm showing P12. Nope, moved up. P4. Nice run there for Vernon. 54.289. See if we can find somebody else that's on the track. He looks like JJ just finished up.
Yeah, I'm showing 9th actually now, Scott. It must have been some more qualifiers, unless my timing and scoring's us.
Oh yeah,
Please
he's
confirm.
dropping down. Yeah,
there
10th.
he goes. All right.
Dropping down 10th now. Yeah.
Wanted to make sure I was in sync with you. Hey, while we're waiting for qualification, why don't we go over the current point standings headed to Talladega, which is probably going to be a throwaway race for some of these guys, but some other guys are going to get desperate trying to keep in the top 18 here, or top 16.
Yeah, they were looking at the top 16 on the points, top 16 going to the playoffs. We got the top 20 on the board there. Can you get the numbers?
Yeah, so we got Justin Michael currently leading this this field right now with 310 points. He's got 3 wins on the season. Justin Michael holding on. He's had a couple of tough races the last couple of races. I believe he kind of got wrecked out at Martinsville, and on the dirt he didn't show up. I don't know if the car passed inspection or whatever, but he's leading, followed by Wesley Holland, kind of winless this season, 14 points behind. Rob Haynes in 3rd place, 47 points behind the leader. Brian Bazell in 4th place with 60 points behind the leader. Kyle Chadwick, another race winner this season, along with Brian Bazell, who I mentioned previously, 63 points behind the leader. Christopher Davis in 6th place, 73 points behind the leader. And in 8th, James Hearn, still winless on the season, 76 points behind the leader. Billy Gumgardner in 8th, 78 points behind. Greg Mall in 9th, 88 points behind. He also is a race winner at Martinsville this year. Charles Widener rounds out your top 10, 91 points behind. Josh R. Scott in 11th. Jeffrey Merck, tough season. He does have a win on the season in 12th. In 13th, Jack Watts, 105 points behind the leader. In 14th, Rod Mitten. In 15th, Jason Hughes. And in 16th, these guys are all currently in the chase, will be Michael Melfelt Jr. Now, the guys outside looking in is James 000 Brown in 17th, Eric Talent in 18th, David Schreck in 19th, and Trent Drum rounds out your top 20.
All right, there you have it for the point standings. We are going to the grid right now. It looks like the cars are on pit road behind the pace car. We got one pace lap tonight around the 2.66 mile tri-oval here at Talladega. Let's take a look at some starting grid. Let's see here.
Finding that starting grid there, Scott.
Yeah, let's see here. Who's on the pole here?
So on the pole is Michael Lovelace, who I don't believe we've ever talked about in the 68 car.
Yeah, so Michael Lovelace, Kyle Chadwick on second there, Mike Erder, the Dart from Dallas, Texas in third, JJ Garrett in fourth, James 00 Brown in the 9 car, special paint scheme tonight, we'll talk about that, Wesley Holland in the 41 from Colorado, Mark Billin in 7th, Jason Hughes in 8th, Eric Talent in 9th, and Billy Bumgarner rounding out the top 10.
In 11th is Jeffrey Merck. In 12th, Doug Hevron. In 13th, Rod Mitten will be starting on that inside position. On his outside will be Ken Richardson in that 16 car. Trent Drum will be on the inside starting in 15th. Charles Widener on the outside starting in 16th. Vernon I can't even talk tonight. Vernon Margine will be starting in 17th. If you remember, he did our hot lap around Talladega in that 33 car. And then in 18th will be Josh R. Scott. In 19th will be Brian Bazell, and in 20th will be Robert Mattis.
21st, Jeff Gilmore. 22nd, Loretta Lakes and John Henderson rounding out those cars that actually put down a qualifying lap. I'm noticing all these cars are in the 54-second bracket range, so it's going to be a tight field here. Pretty much the top 20, 25 cars all putting them down the same, pretty much same lap time within a second of each other. Heath Smith, Justin Michael, Andrew Schulte, Rob Haynes, Christopher Davis, Jack Watts, and Ron Quincell rounding out the top 30.
And Brad Ream in 31st, Greg Mall in 32nd, James Hearns in 33rd, Michael Melfelt Jr. in 34th, Garrett Potts in 35th, Bill Paradise in 36th, Wally Truheimer in 37th, David Schreck in 38th, Taylor Potts in 39th, Kerry Cleaver in 40th, Chris Voles in, I can't see what position that is right at the moment, and David Desjardins wraps out the field.
There you go. There's our starting grid for tonight. Looking at the field pacing out of turn number 2. 1 lap here. We'll be going green next time by.
So we got some chat. We've already got some picks already in the chat there, Scott. So we got, well, Greg Ball is saying, first of all, don't vote for the 087. And who might that be, I wonder?
Our points leader, of course.
Yeah, and then
Justin Michael with 3 wins on the season.
So Gene Daly's going for Mike Erder, it looks like. And Tyler Larson is going for the 00 of James Brown. At least he's rooting him on. And we'll get to talk about that here in the next few laps too.
Certainly. Yeah, we got a special paint skin. See what's position is James? Looks like he's starting 5th or so.
James Brown, yeah, he's starting in 5th.
Yeah, there's that 09 car tonight. He's normally the double zero? No, 70. What is James' normal
he's
number?
In the 00 car, so that's actually going to confuse me a little bit. I was saying that during announcing. I just caught that error. Yep. 09 car tonight.
Ooh.
In that old Retro Cup car that he runs a series on Sunday nights called the Retro Cup 89s and the F1 Lotuses. Anyway, I'll let you take us to green there, Scott.
Here we go as the pace car takes a left turn onto pit road. We do have a restart zone tonight. It is basically halfway through the tri-oval area. Right where you see the Coca-Cola sign on the grass, right about there. Should be right there. There's a Coke sign. 68's got this field under control. He can go at any point. Kyle Chadwick on the outside. And green flag is up. Let's go racing at Talladega. 85 laps tonight.
Yeah, and you know these guys are probably already thinking about the big one. We'll get the cars wound up. It takes about a lap and a half for these cars to get up to full song in this draft. So even though they look like they're going fast now, it actually takes a lap or so to get these things up to speed.
That it does. Everybody trying to figure this out here. Pretty calm here. Double wide pretty much throughout the top 20 at least. Looks like Jeffrey Mark does to the inside. He's probably going backwards to join his Bandit Motorsports teammates back there. It's like Jason Hughes on the outside of the 68 car. Wesley Holland, no surprise there up front in that 41 on the outside, leading that outside pack. Strong off of turn 4.
Yeah, I just could have swore I heard somebody say that there was wrecking, but I don't think so. I'm not sure. I heard one of the drivers out there call something out. I'm looking at Josh R. Scott back there in last position there. So have to forgive me here. I'm still looking at Brown. He's just behind Brown. There he is. He's in 9th place. Almost took a 3 wide, but there, look at Doug Hebron there. Man is no stranger to real NASCAR racing. Taking a 3 ride with that 21 right behind him, or that 29 right behind him, trying to get that car to the front.
Yeah, there he is in the Bentley's DFH, number 22. Good to see Dougie out here.
Yeah, good seeing him out here and running up front. So, yeah, nice run there, Doug. We got some more people in the chat. We got, let's see, hopefully I don't butcher these names, but we got Karen Fleischman. Hopefully I said that right, Karen, but she obviously is going for that 09 car of James Brown. I can't call him the 00 car tonight.
I always thought that, I don't know, part of me, every time I say his name, James 00 Brown, it's almost like his middle name, right? My middle initial is T, and I just think James 00 Brown, right?
That's the only way I know it. So, and then we got Martha Turheimer, says to be watching Wally all night, so rooting for his race. Haven't seen him race before, apparently, and kind of excited about it, looks like.
Yeah, let's look back here at Wally's, back in 35th right now, holding down the back of the fort here. Looks like that Force reminds me of Sterling Marlin, the Coors Light Chevy there on the inside. Looks like Bill Paradise coming up on the inside. Wally's making some moves and the high line.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Martha, they can win from any position here on the track. It's Talladega. You can win from the back as well as you can win from the front. So it's kind of about strategy and luck at this place.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I also like about Wally is he's part of one of the best super speedway teams out there by far. Bandit Motorsports has the record to beat when it comes to super speedways, Daytona, Talladega. So he's got all the guys to help him out strategy-wise, all the fuel numbers he needs, and I'm sure he's going to be one to contend with here for the win as we get down closer to the end of this thing. Right now, just 4 laps on the board out of 85.
Yeah, and I'm looking at that right now. I'm actually watching the feed there, and I noticed that we do have 2 distinct groups, and it looks like some of those Bandit guys are in that second group. Kind of maybe waiting for the big one and just hanging back.
Yeah, right now we're back up front here. Let's go with Wesley Holland on the high side here. Still leading that high lane. JJ Garrett, no stranger to super speedway racing with his aggression right on the bumper of Wesley Holland there.
Well, those are 2 very aggressive guys. So, yeah, he is using that bumper to get Wesley up there, trying to make that outside work there. And we'll see. You know, that's really what it takes to make the outside work. You need those top guys to all get in line and really form a tight draft to make that outside really work. And if the low lane there, you can see Kyle Chadwick hanging off of the 58 there of smoke. And that was enough to get those 2 cars by as that 79 hooks to the rear bumper of that 41 car, and they go to the front.
There you go. As you see, they drop right down to the bottom. Jason Hughes there, we talked about on the inside, that sharp-looking SRX Chevy. Who's else up back there? Kyle Chadwick in that 88 Toyota.
And you also got Doug Hebron in that mix.
DFH.
Back there on the outside of J.J. Garrett. The outside of Jason Hughes as well. I like the way these guys are running currently, Scott. You know, one thing about strategy, I know you're going to talk about it later in the race, but you know, when you're that front guy, when we talk about pit strategy, you're using the most fuel. So those 2 front guys, you know, sitting out front are going to be the first 2 that are going to have to hit pit lane tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Michael Loveless up here leading the pack with DFH here running second here. Some checking up going on in the pack. But yeah, like you said, burning fuel. So it might be wise of them to shuffle through the lead. Maybe if things work out here as we continue to go on green flag. Let's talk about a pit window tonight. Fuel window is about 20 laps, maybe 21 on the high end. So 85 lap race. They're probably looking at least a 3-stop, if not a 4-stop race in front of us.
Yeah, I do like how these guys are racing right now, though, Scott. They're looks like everybody's being really patient, especially in the early laps here. We're lap 7, about ready to hit lap 8 here shortly.
Yeah, next time around be lap 8. We watch these guys come off of turn number 2 down the Alabama. What do they call it? The Alabama backstretch? Alabama gang.
Question.
I think Alabama gang. There it is.
Flipping Montana.
I know, you're a road racer. I know. Good run here for Mike Erder, I think, in 3rd place here in that K&N. Looks like a new paint scheme for him there on the bottom side, and that black, red, and white, a little bit of orange K&N filters.
Yep.
Good to see Mikey out here.
So, hey, Scott, we want to talk about the 09?
Yeah, let's do that as we come up to lap number 8. We got a, let's see if we can find him. Where are you, James 00
He's in
Brown?
9th right now, so in the perfect position.
9th. 9 car in 9th. Retro Cup Sunday Series. James, we talked about him, 00 Brown, normally runs the 00 car, but tonight he is running the 09 in remembrance to one of our fellow members, Mr. Alan Larson, who unfortunately had some health issues and has recently lost his life last Thursday. So, long time, very long, older member of multi-league racing here. So, want to remember him as we come around to lap number 9. Do you see some things in the chat there, Ken?
Yeah, we got Karen Fleischman. I hope I pronounced your name right. Yeah, I agree with you. Rest in peace, and I'm sorry for your loss, Karen. We also got Tyler Larson, and Tyler says he raced on his uncle. He raced on his uncle's account, which I'm assuming is James Brown. Was a great friend to his uncle, and just wanted to say thank you to the league.
As we do this, we're gonna go for a lap of silence in remember of Alan Larson. Rest in peace, buddy. There we have it, across the stripe, 10 laps on the board. James 00 Brown doing his job here, back in 7th spot, looks like. Holding on tight here to the lead draft. So good Scott, racing, single file racing up front.
I also wanted to mention Justin Fleischman. Again, I apologize for the name, but I'm assuming that's another family member of Alan. So yeah, God bless you guys. So sorry for your loss. I'm sure he's in multi-league's heart. I want to thank you guys for showing up. So yeah, again, very sorry. Hopefully he's able to watch this, and hopefully he really enjoyed his time while he was here.
Absolutely, appreciate that. Appreciate all the family members joining us here this evening, watching this broadcast. Hopefully James can make us proud here for Alan Larson.
So I just got a correction on how to pronounce their last name from Karen. It's Fleischman. So Fleischman, I guess. Fleischman.
There we go. I noticed while we were doing that, I'm going to go back up front here. Doug Hevron still in 2nd place. Mike Erder in 3rd. Looks like Wesley Holland in 4th. Jason Hughes rounding out the top 5 here.
Yeah, these guys are being really calm and collected tonight. I'm really impressed. You were talking about J.J. Garrett. He's currently back in 11th. He pushed Wesley Holland up to the lead. Now he's fallen back. He's got, looks like Eric Talent behind him, and just starting to move back. He's on that outside lane. Got nobody really to draft with. And you can see what happens here, Scott. Once guys sort it out and kind of get single file, that outside lane just has nowhere to go, and they start falling backwards.
Yeah, as that outside lane breaks up here, and although I see who is that up there in the monster car in front of Josh R. Scott, who we're on board with right now. But yeah, I can see J.J. Garrett. It looks like Eric Talent on that high side all by themselves. See how much
that looks like the
they
29 car of Robert Mattis, Scott, in that Monster Energy drink.
Maybe he's fooling me. These guys changing up paint schemes every week.
Yeah, well, he took the league administrator's. Oh no, I could see it. He's got green around it. For a minute, I thought it was another one of those blended numbers into the paint where you couldn't see it.
Robert Mattis, Colorado Springs. Started in 20th, currently all the way up to 12th. Awesome job picking up 8 spots so far, Robert Mattis. Lap number 12 on the board.
I used to live in Colorado Springs. It's a great place to live.
You know who else is from Colorado is, I think, Wesley Holland up here in 3rd spot, maybe? Yeah, he's from Colorado Springs as well, from Bad Apple Racing. Started 6th, currently running 3rd.
That explains why those guys are so fast. Something in the water over there. I was only over there for my military time, but I sure did enjoy it. Got some guys re-entering the track. I'm not sure what happened there, Scott. They were fixing some damage or whatever, but now we're going to have a few guys that are lapped down. I'm trying to see. It looks like Taylor Potts and who all just went a lap down there.
Yeah, Garrett Potts, I think, in the 40. 12 in front of him. Not sure exactly. It was a 12 car tonight. Oh, Taylor Potts. Yeah. So.
Yeah, Taylor Potts and Garrett Potts.
Yeah, Taylor Potts and Garrett. Look at that.
Must be brothers in arms.
Actually, they're still. I'm showing them still on the lead lap. Is that what you show, Ken?
I'm showing them a lap down currently.
Okay,
both of them went. I seen them
yeah.
come out of the pits and re-enter the track, and I didn't actually see them go in, so I'm not sure the reason behind that. So I was talking about JJ Garrett earlier. He's currently running, and let me go back up to him here. He's back up to 5th, and so I said that outside lane had fallen apart, but now he's got looks like Eric Talent and looks like what is a 16 car of Ken Richardson, kind of a 4 or 5 car group up there pushing their way back up front, and that Monster Energy drink, the 29 car, also in tow.
There's the awesome view of James 00 Brown doing his thing on the inside in that 09 car. Looks like that high side's getting some momentum here. Kyle Chadwick going backwards on the inside. And while all that happened, I'm not sure how we missed this, but new leader, give it to the 28, DFH Doug Awesome Hevron, we'll call him.
Yeah, no, we totally missed that. And we got Mike Erder up there, and there was a Mike Erder fan in the chat. So that was Gene Daly, I believe. So Mike Erder's found his way up to the 2nd spot, it looks like. And Mike Erder's running, that looks like a Derek Cope K&N car. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that what Derek Cope used to run?
I remember Derek Cope in the Skittles car, and then before that.
And then a CLR or something like that.
Yeah, I remember it being brighter colors though, like a purple and blue and orange type of thing, but.
I guess I'll just be wrong.
I can say yes and agree with you if you want, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I'm used to being wrong. I'm going back through the field here. We're having a pretty clean race. I moved myself back to the 22nd spot of Michael Melfeld Jr. I think he's the last car, 16th in points. I'm currently running 22nd, keeping it clean. Might be back there with Charles Widener in front of him, and then he's got, looks like Christopher Davis behind him in the 38th Coors car. Or no, that's the 12, I'm sorry. So I got the car numbers mixed up here.
Yeah, as we do this, I want to drift back a little bit. Let's talk about Rob Haynes. We're looking here in the beer store, number 199, currently in 33rd spot. These guys, all part of Bandit Motorsports. Rob Haynes, Justin Michael, Jeffrey Merck. These guys all have pitted already. Here comes a second stash of them. Andrew Schulte, Greg Mall, Wally Tierhammer, who told was in the pack early on, but he's right with these guys now in good hands. Chris Voiles was their team captain. And Kerry Cleaver, all from Bandit Motorsports. These guys clearly have a strategy here tonight. Probably around lap 16, they just pitted last time by, so they've got something in mind here. I think they're going to be tough to beat as this thing winds down.
Yeah, so we got some Bill Paradise getting ready to head in the pits. Sounds like a bunch of guys are heading in with him. We might want to jump to that, Scott, because it could be entertaining watching these guys enter pit lane.
Yeah, and as we do that, I'm also going to turn on the iRacing chat so you can hear it as we hear it in our ears. These drivers are required to call out when they are pitting, so you'll hear it probably the next time around or so, and we'll try to catch them as they happen live entering pit road, which can be pretty treacherous. Ken, you know this. Diving from 200 miles an hour down to 65 here on pit road can be quite the task with this many cars out here.
Definitely. It's something I wanted to do tonight is just show how complicated that can be, and I think the next time by or so, maybe in another one here, this one we're going to see the majority of the leaders start pitting, and this will be really interesting when you get 20 cars all headed pit lane at the same time. Another important thing about heading the pit lane on this track is you don't want to slow up until you get on the apron, because sometimes the driver will slow up while they're still going full song on the track, and the driver behind them doesn't realize it, and sometimes that'll bring out a caution.
Absolutely. Off of turn 4 there, they paved, many years ago, they paved Talladega Speedway all the way down to the wall, basically. So you can kind of see in that shot there on the pit exit how much asphalt there is down there. So that's done quite a bit to help alleviate some of those problems. But hopefully these guys get off the track before they slow down and have got plenty of room to maneuver there for the entrance of pit road.
Now you can see those 2 lap cars that just went by. That was James Hearns and another driver didn't quite catch it. But you can see that pit stop costs you pretty much a lap. So now those guys are just hoping that the caution doesn't come out until everybody gets through their cycle. Now, when you were talking to the teams out there, Scott, did any of them mention 2 tires, 4 tires, no tires for this next gen car?
I have not heard at all about what guys are going to be doing tonight, so that is...
Because it seems like in these next gen cars, guys haven't been taking as many tires, even on some of the tracks where you would think would chew through tires. So be interested to see if anybody's like just going no tires through the whole cycle tonight. And we just got an announcement. I think everybody heard it. Mike Erder is going to be headed to pit lane, and he's running in the 3rd position. So I'm hearing a lot of drivers calling out that they're coming to the pits. So camera's on you, Scott. I'll let you take this pit stop here.
I'll get to work here, see what happens. We're cameras on Mike Erder. Probably going to see a lot of these guys diving. We're in turn 3 right now. Middle of turn 3 and 4. We'll see what happens off turn 4 here. One thing to note here, the leaders were doing a 51-1 that last time. Those guys from Bandit Motorsports were all about 0.7 of a second faster. So here's see them all spread out here. Awesome job getting down to pit road speed. JJ Garrett leading them down. Doug Heverin on the inside. Awesome job. Looks like nobody's smoking yet. No pit penalties that I hear.
Yeah, it was a nice, clean entrance for everybody that time, Scott. Well, we'll see what the next group brings.
Yeah, I kind of want to look at these guys and see who's doing tires, and if they're doing tires, how many tires they're doing. I just saw the 29. I think Robert Mattis overshot his pit stop. Looks like I don't see any jack stands going up. Maybe Dave Schreck back there. Oh, there's the right side of James 00 Brown going up, but I think a lot of these guys are fuel only. We'll go back to the front of the field here, try to catch some guys that are going to be, let's see here if we can find them.
So I'm up here with Ken Richardson this time, up in 3rd position. Looks like this is when the majority, yeah, here they go.
Here they come off pit road.
See smoke getting in there without smoke. That's always nice. Managed to get in there nice and clean. What's going on, Scott? Man,
whoa,
that was a pretty...
Mike Erder, or not Erder, who is that? Michael Milfelt turned around backwards. See if we can get back to where he was.
Oh no, I was just about to say, I said, with all the drama we had the last 3 races with the short track racing, man, people must have come here and decided to clean it up.
Looking at the pit exit, looks like Brian Bazell, haven't talked much about him. Christopher Davis there, 68 of Michael Lovelace, who was our pole sitter tonight, and Jason Hughes off the pit road. Here comes, look at this really interesting race here as these guys are full speed off of turn number 1 and 2. There goes all the Bandit guys straight to the front. I think these guys are going to be leading the pack when this all shuffles out here.
Yeah, definitely. I just watched them go by Wesley Holland and Kyle Chadwick. They're going to come out pretty decent, but yeah, they are going to get behind. And Chadwick is pushing that 41 car, saying, please don't lose that Bandit draft up there.
We're looking at Justin Michael, Jeffrey Mark, and Rob Haynes. I think this is going to be the class of the field here off of turn 4. I don't see anybody in front of them. They've already made their pit stop, and they are hooked up. All teammates, bumper to bumper here. They know what's going on the inside here.
Yeah, and that's going to put him, let's see, I'm waiting for him to cross the line and figure out how many seconds that next group of Wesley Holland and Kyle Chadwick. So that's 4 seconds. Andrew Schulte, the closest car between that 3-car group, is Andrew Schulte, who's also part of that team, I believe, right, Scott? And it's 4 seconds
Andrew Schulte is, yes, correct. We saw when those Bandit guys, when we were scanning through them when they first made their pit stop, that there was kind of 2 groups of the Bandit guys. So there was the pack of 3 in front, which was Rob, Justin, and Mark. And then that second pack of 4 or 5 cars there, including Schulte, Greg Mall, and those guys. So it should be really interesting now is the chess match of, I'm going to watch lap times for you. We're going to talk about intervals to the leader and see if this pack here with being led by Wes Holland here and Kyle Chadwick, Doug Heveron, Mike Erder, all those guys, See what kind of lap times I can put down here. They really need to stay organized, Ken. Stay single file here, bumper to bumper, to get the best possible draft going. More cars we have in line, the better off we're going to be. But
here now, we'll be good.
Yeah, definitely. I was watching Jeffrey Merck too up here in that second position. He's basically been glued to the back of that 87 car of Justin Michael. And while Rob Haynes has kind of been off Jeffrey Merck's back bumper, and I'm wondering, I guess these cars are having a decent time with cooling, because usually, sometimes if you're drafting a car that close, you kind of overheat the cars, but Jeffrey has been able to stay in that second position in that 3-car draft pretty much the entire race. Yeah,
our stream didn't break there. That was a nose cam from Jeffrey Merck's cars. We were looking at the undercarriage of Justin Michael in front of him, the 087. Bandit Motorsports, there you can see it. Going floorboard deep here in the tri-oval.
I just moved back to Justin Michael here. Looks like we have some more cars that have come out, or not Justin Michael, I'm sorry, Andrew Schulte. Waiting for my timing and scoring. There it goes, finally caught up. Got Greg Mull in front of him, Kerry Cleaver in that 69 car, Chris Voiles in the 49, some other teammates, and Wally Turheimer in that fourth spot. Now almost 5 seconds behind those top 3.
Yeah, and then I'm looking at Michael Milfeld's back here in 41st. I'm sure he's at least a lap down from that pit road incident, but I think that Michael Milfeld was the key there. He was about 2 seconds behind the Andrew Schulte group, but just enough draft for Wesley Holland to hook up with him. See a little bit left rear damage on Michael Milfeld's car from that incident. But I think that was just enough to maybe let Wesley Holland get a sniff of this draft in front of him here.
Yeah, pushing Mike, like you said, there's a bit of damage. I'm hearing some little bit of drama from the driver's chat there. It sounds like there was a close call out there. Doug Heveron, give it out to Doug Heveron. We don't get to talk to him too much. He's back there in 11th in that 22 car. I know we mentioned him a couple times because it's always great seeing him out there, though.
That it is. Bentley Saloon up here in Arundel, Maine. Bentley Warren is obviously a really, really good friend, close friend of Doug Heveron's.
And then just right behind Doug Heveron, JJ Garrett. So I was just going to call out that it looks like that was going to be our first side-by-side battle there with JJ Garrett in the 79 Caterpillar car. But he drops in behind Doug Heveron and is going to follow leader for a little bit, I guess. And then Eric Talent just behind them in the 117 and Mike Erder. All in line there. 78 car, or 18 car, I'm sorry, Brian Bazell. Bringing the Mack Trucks car, that yellow numbered silver and black 18 car.
Yeah, it was our Daytona 500 winner. He also won a race, I think on Thursday night, maybe, the Truck Series, I think. Won the Truck Series race at Talladega, so he's certainly got a knack for the super speedway racing here. Running in, what is it, 15th about?
Yeah, currently 15th right now, as they are all pretty much single file through the top 17, 18. I haven't looked further back, going back to Jason Hughes. They're in like a third or fourth pack here with the 68 leading this with Michael Lovelace. I believe started on the pole, if I remember right. Now in 17th, so he's lost 17 position. Jason Hughes behind him. Heath Smith in that 02, that black car, definitely needs a sponsor. Somebody reach out to that guy and put a sponsor on that car. Dang it.
Yeah. Ken Richardson back here. And Charlie Whitner, haven't talked much about him, but holding on strong in the part of this draft. What I want to talk about, Ken, is this interval. Let's go back to Wally Tierhammer. Running in 4th right now. You don't see anybody in front of him because it's those Bandit Motorsports guys. Justin Michael, Jeffrey Merck, and Rob Haynes have a 5.7 second lead on Wally, who's leading this train of about 15 cars here. So got to keep an eye on that interval for you. 5.7 seconds right now. See if these guys have a chance at catching the rest of that Bandit Motorsports pack up there, those top 3.
I know those top 3 got to be pretty strong, Scott, because the last time we talked about this, there were 4.5 seconds, so it pretty much gained a second in a couple of laps since we were last talking about them. So that front 3 is pulling away, so these guys are going to have to maybe change their strategy or do something different with their drafting technique to catch those top 3.
Taylor, you and Garrett calling you to go to the pits. I'm sure I've got more.
Kind of looking back, 71 cars on the outside. I believe that might be a lap car. Just seeing who that is. Oh, that's Double D, David Desjardins. Going a lap down now. You know, something interesting, you know, when you're 2 and 3 wide here at this track, especially at Daytona, but Talladega is a little easier, but these lap cars, they get damaged, they get off pace, and then you end up racing 2 or 3 wide. and you're coming up on these lap cars, it can get pretty sketchy when you're a single car out there going like 15 miles an hour under what everybody else is doing, and they're coming 3 wide at you.
Looking on the at the gearbox, that's the tail end of Justin Michael here, looking at Jeffrey Mark from Bandit Motorsports and a Toyota Camry. Healing Waters Fly Fishing, Stone River, Toyota Camry.
Well, leave it to JJ Garrett. He's got that double lane started again. And I've heard JJ on these restrictor plate races, if he doesn't think you're going fast enough, he's going to move out. He sees those leaders pulling away, and I'm pretty sure that he's like, I'm going to do something about this. And he's going to try to drive this 79 Caterpillar car to this the lead of this second group here.
That is.
And we got a bunch of guys.
Coming pit road. Andrew Schulte having issues, getting all kinds of loose there.
Yeah, I thought Andrew Schulte was going to bite it right there.
Wrecking. Good.
Oh.
Don't slow down.
I'm hearing, there's somebody spinning there on the grass there, Scott. I think that was Andrew Schulte.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, try to keep up with this the best we can here. It's going to be tricky here as guys come to pit road. Looks like James Hearns gets turned around by the Coors car there on pit road.
Well, we mentioned it on the last set of pit stops there, Scott, that's kind of tricky getting on that pit lane, and I guess the patience is starting to run out because guys are starting to find each other on the entrance to pit lane here.
That it is, and looks like those top three cars, well, they were the top three, I should say. Justin Michael, Jeffrey Mark, Rob Haynes made their second pit stop of the night. Looks like they all came out cleanly, 1, 2, 3 again. So they will be, I'm sure, shuffled back in the pack, but again, putting down extraordinary lap times.
Yeah, so Scott, I've moved back to the 14th position, like the third group of cars. Actually, it's the 14th position right now. Vernon Margheim leading that group of cars. Kind of formed a nice little 5-car group there with Rob Minton, John Henderson, Jeff Gilmore, and Josh R. Scott.
We see Vernon Margheim started 17th, currently running 14th from Greenwood, Indiana.
Yeah, all the guys in this group haven't really changed their positions overall too much. Might have found a happy spot between this group, and they're like, hey, we're just going to stay here and see how things play out. I don't know.
More laps like that. Don't want me in the front.
Moving back up here towards Jason Hughes is leading this second pack now currently. Got about a 10-car group here. Some of them 2 wide here. And Jason Hughes is currently running in 5th. As that first group have made their pit stop, so that's a lot. Oh, I'm hearing a crash maybe. No caution yet.
No caution on the track yet. JJ Garrett still leading the pack up front. Doug Heveron in second. Eric Talent in third. Mike Erder in fourth. And then we're looking at this pack here, another 1.7 seconds behind them, leaded by Jason Hughes and Heath Smith.
I wonder if the race officials forgot to bring yellow flags, Scott.
Right?
or they used them all up after Bristol Dirt.
Or everybody wrecked enough cars last week where they can't afford to wreck another one this week. So. Oh, so let's talk intervals here. 1.7, 1.5 now, Jason Hughes. So knocked 2/10 off that lap. I think he's going to be catching JJ Garrett, Doug Heveron, and all those guys up there leading the pack. You can see him almost in the bottom right corner of the screen there. JJ Garrett can almost smell the exhaust. Or Jason Hughes, rather, sorry.
JJ Garrett currently leading this thing. So, leave it to him. He's kind of been running front all night. Started in 4th, leading this thing. After pit stops, it'll cycle back around. I'm not sure he'll be in the lead because they had pretty much a 7-second deficit on those top 3. And where is Team Bandit now currently? So Merck, he is, I guess, okay, I got him. They're in 27th, 28th, and 29th. So not a lap down, so they're perfectly safe if the caution was to come out. They've got their pit stops made.
Let's talk about lap times again. They're running 50.5s, 50 and a half. In the leader, JJ just run a 51 flat, pretty much consistent throughout the top. At least 4 cars, they're all running 51 flat, so I don't know how they do it with just 3 cars, but these guys have got it figured out, consistently running about a half a second every lap faster than almost everybody on the track here, continuing to extend that lead. Andrew Schulte, I think, is Andrew Schulte a lap down?
Yeah, Andrew Schulte had an incident, so he might be a lap down. I seen him spin on the infield there.
Big heavy damage on the left. Down. Yeah, heavy damage on the left side of that Children's Wisconsin Chevy. He's going to try to hook onto the end of this Bandit train. Not sure he's going to be able to keep up, though.
And then we talked about Michael Melfelt Jr. in that 155 car having his problems, and he's a lap or 2 down. And tough break for him. He was top 16 in points, and after tonight, he might not be.
Very true.
Still a lot of races to go, but you can't race your win into these things here in multi-league. You have to point your way in. Wins don't matter here. You got to get those points. So running consistent, running clean is the key to the game here.
All in here. Let's go get him.
Looking at the leader, JJ Garrett still leading this thing. Coming around for lap number 37 going on the board. A few more laps and we'll be halfway through this thing already. One thing I wanted to mention, Ken, I posted it on the Multi-League Facebook page, but from Patented Paints, I've decided to do a free giveaway. The winner of this race tonight from Talladega is going to win an 8x10 print of their car doing burnouts on the front stretch. A real print shipped to their house. Kind of a cool little thing I like to do every once in a while for
it's very
nice
awesome.
races.
I tried to win one of those one time, but I think you denied me. You should have got a thumbnail so you could have posted it on the feed tonight too, because those pictures are truly beautiful. I mean, the way that you capture the images and do the Photoshop and everything, it really looks nice, really professional.
Yeah, appreciate that. I do run a small photography business. It's kind of like my side gig with my wife and I. So we run patent photography, and that's kind of opened my eyes to how to operate these cameras and get a nice view of these cars and do a little bit of editing after, so it looks really nice for these guys. So I think they appreciate it, and we're doing it for them free of charge. The winner's walking away with an 8x10 print. Who's it going to be tonight? Who do we got in the chat? Has anybody in the chat picked the winners tonight?
Martha again is saying good job, Wally. So pretty proud of Wally right now. I haven't seen anybody else pick any other things. And then I forgot to mention Justin Fleischman, I think I said it properly now. Anyway, was Alan's uncle as well, or nephew I should say. It was his uncle, Justin's.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of people in the chat tonight, so haven't heard everybody call out their favorites yet, but they're probably hedging their bets like we do, which as we're getting to the halfway point, I guess maybe you and I should maybe make our bets.
I think so, and as we do that, let's hold off on that 1 second. Let's see James Double Brown coming to pit road. We haven't talked about anything about who's that? Jack Watts up there. I almost forgot his name. Brad Ream coming down pit road here in front.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the leaders there for when they make their pits here.
Remember, no tires.
Looks like there's that 09 car.
Hey, 9, are you pitting this time?
Here's James O'Brown coming to pit road.
So I imagine next time by we're going to start seeing the majority start coming in. JJ Garrett's been leading for, I don't know, 5-6 laps now. Got Doug Heveron behind him, Eric Talent. I hear Billy Bumgardner getting ready to, he's announced his pit. And Billy is started in 10th, currently in 20th. Kind of not having the greatest night yet, but might be saving his time there. I don't know if you're on
pit
him,
road
Scott.
right now. Yeah, on pit road right now. Billy Bumgarner coming down in the 53 Coors Melling Ford. Reminds me of Bill Elliott's scheme.
Yeah.
You got
Nice
one
looking
more?
car there. There was the Armor All car just ahead of him of Trent Drum. Another
Trying to
kind of
keep
a
our
neat
eyes
looking car.
Peeled up front here. See what the leaders do. They're staying out this time.
Whenever you're ready, call it.
A lot of communication. I don't think I turned the iRacing chat off, so you've bhan hearing the pit callouts and whatnot live as we've been hearing.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet on the radio. I'm kind of really impressed. And as these pits keep going, cycling through, Scott, it's spreading out the field even further. So, that kind of prevents the big
111 pitting this time.
the big groups, which tends to bring out the big one.
Pitting this time.
That's true. Let's go on board with the 111 car. He's going to be pitting this time, I heard. Probably others in this pack, I would assume they're going to pit with him as well. So we'll see exactly what it's like to go cockpit view. Or cockpit of John Henderson, the 92 of Rod Mitten right in front of him there. And then Vernon Margheim in front of him. Here comes, makes the dive all the way down to the apron, all the way against the wall, gives those guys plenty of room on the outside. Get it woed up, the downshift. Awesome job for John Henderson in our pit road here.
Yeah, it was a nice, clean stop by everybody on that group there. I do happen to notice that John Henderson's got quite a bit of front end damage there, so I don't know if that's from bump drafting or something else.
Maybe he was involved in, I don't know who it was that got involved with either, Andrew Schulte and or Mike Milfelt. I know there's some contact there.
Yeah, I'm looking for Michael Milfelt paint on the front of that car right now. I don't see any.
John Henderson's almost 3 wide here. Rod Mitten on the pit exit. We're going to follow him. Got to stay below that yellow line all the way to the exit of turn number 2 here. Merge on the backstretch. That's Rod Mitten going that Spotify car and Toyota Camry. Got to be really careful here getting up to gear. It's really easy to spin here with the banking. Banking changes quite a bit there right above that yellow line. Blue cone there on the left. That allows him to merge on safely onto the track here into traffic.
Got our next group that have all hit pit lane. Jason Hughes led that next group into pit lane right now. Currently getting their stops done. Had a few people there. It looked like Kyle Chadwick. I couldn't catch everybody, but me and Scott were too busy yapping. We had the 41 car, the 18 car, all getting their stops done. And
we're on board with Jason Hughes on the pit exit. Looks like Brian Bazell, our Daytona 500 winner, right behind him. Kyle Chadwick. You know what will be interesting is, let's do this. Let's look at Justin Michael, right, who's leading the Bandit Motorsports guys, and see where these guys end up. Wow, I'm not sure if this is such a humongous lead.
10 seconds? Yeah, that's what I'm showing.
At least, right?
Yeah, at least, because we haven't got the timing and scoring from the last time by.
Just put in perspective, Justin Michael, Jeff Merck, Rob Haynes, they're all coming to the start-finish line. There's the start-finish line, and Kyle Chadwick, that group that we were just watching here, double wide drafting here, they're just off of turn 4. So yeah, it's a solid 10-second lead, I would say.
Here we go, Justin Michael splitting a couple lap cars there, the 24 and the 56. And then, so I'm hearing a little bit of a little displeasure from Justin Michael with the 2 lap cars that are getting by. And just behind that 199 car of Rob Haynes is the lap cars, the 78 car of James Hearns and Garrett Potts behind James. So he's already started there. That little group of 3 cars is already starting to put fast guys laps down.
Yeah.
Or a lap down.
I think the best you can do at this point, if you're James Hearns, is tag on to those fast guys and let it ride the best you can. He'll probably be in the lucky dog spot if we can get a caution here. 44 laps down. We just passed the halfway mark tonight.
Coming back here, I'm trying to find our second group here. So it looks like Mike Erder, who I believe that was Gene Daly's pick for tonight's race. He's currently running in 6th. Just ahead of him, Eric Talent, and then, of course, JJ Garrett. He's leading that second group in that 79 Caterpillar car.
Eric Talent.
And, oh, by the way, Scott,
started 9th. What's up?
We were going to take a new look at the timing and scoring with that lead group car. Take a look at it now.
Oh,
time
boy.
difference.
19? Am I showing that right?
Yep, 19.2 currently.
Wow, let's put that in perspective for the fans here. JJ Garrett leading the second pack. He's currently running in 4th. We'll take it to the start-finish line, I guess. That'll give the best perspective here, I think. Here comes the tri-oval. These guys, JJ Garrett, Eric Talent, Mike Erder, Doug Hevron. Looks like Bill Paradise going a lap down. There's the start-finish line. And Justin Michael and these guys, middle of the backstretch. Whole half a trek ahead here.
Yes, a good racing it sounds like out there, Scott. I'm
That's
kind
what
of
I'm listening to
right
in my ear
now,
too.
And I shouldn't be, but Yeah, some good stuff going on the track today.
Sometimes it's good to be up in the booth, huh?
It is, and after those 3 short track races, I can understand it. It's guys feeling the heat a little bit. Restrictor plate racing, everybody wants to win, and unfortunately, there can only be one, is what's said in Highlander.
That's true. And how frustrating has it got to be, Ken, to be super speedway racing like this, where it's generally pack racing, where you kind of think to yourself going in, as long as I can stay in the lead draft, avoid the big one, nail my pit stops, I'll be there in the end. And now here we are, just over halfway, and the leaders are walking away this 20 plus seconds, and you've got a clean car, you nailed your pit stops, you're drafting with teammates, and you're still losing 20 seconds to the top 3.
It's totally defeating. I can tell you from sitting in the cockpit, it's totally defeating. And at this track, especially if the group you're running with isn't very racy and you guys are just trying to catch up, all you're doing is you got the pedal down, it's matted, and it's like there's nothing you can do to run these guys down, and it's a very helpless feeling.
Jason Hughes leading kind of this quasi third pack, I guess you could say. Jason Hughes, Brian Bazell, Wesley Holland, Kyle Chadwick, Ken Richardson, Greg Mall. Is Greg on lead lap? Is he
Greg Mall, I'm
he's
looking
laps
right
down.
now.
Yeah, he's at
Yeah,
least,
he's a lap down, yep.
Yeah.
Him and Ken Richardson both a lap down currently.
You can see
Not
Jason
sure how
Hughes. Watch this closure right here. Jason Hughes tags right onto Doug Hevron. We'll see if he decides to let off the gas and fall in line, which he does.
And you would think, Scott, too, with this line of cars that you're watching, this third group with Kyle Chadwick and Jason Hughes, you would think with that larger group of cars they would be running those guys down, but that little three-car team is just getting it done tonight.
Yeah, let's see if we can show some maybe what is making the difference here. Look at Eric Talon on the inside there, trying to make a move. It shuffles this whole pack up every time. I was listening to Clint Boyer on the race yesterday on Fox, and he was talking about the slack in the chain, right? Every time there's slack in the chain, just like we're seeing now, Doug Hevron losing, all those guys getting shuffled back, like there's at least a car between each of these positions. We're gonna fast forward here. There's the difference. Justin Michael, Jeff Merck, Rob Haynes, no more than a car length, if not a quarter car length between them the entire race here. So
yeah, and these guys are running, and now they're a 5-car battle. It's interesting. They their pit strategy too, Scott, is really impressive, because the only cars, obviously James Hearns, who's a lap down in that purple 78 car, is just behind these 3. He can keep up with them as long as he's drafting, but then after the pit stops, these guys are just checking out.
exactly. We just heard Jeffrey Merck. Let's go on board here. Jeffrey Merck, looks like these bandit guys are coming in this time for their third pit stop of the night, lap 50 on the board.
Which also means, Scott, that they're going to have one more after this as well. This won't get them to the end. And I think some of these other guys will be able to stay out the entire time. The ones that have been pitting on the 20-lap interval. Here they come. Nice clean entrance by everybody there. Brought the 2 lap cars with them. The question is, can the 2 lap cars, James Hearns and Garrett Potts, I think it was, can they stay up with this 3 group of Bandit Motorsports here?
Yeah, there's another great shot that kind of puts the lead into perspective here. Eric Talon leading that second group, just coming through the trial, but those guys are already on pit road eating ice cream sandwiches while these guys just pass them for position here on the start-finish line.
Yeah, I'm watching James Hearns here trying to get back up to him. I don't know if he's going to have enough here on the apron. All right, back up front, we got a new leader, the 5-car, Eric Talent. 79 car of JJ Garrett behind him, and Mike Erder, definitely a good restrictor plate driver himself in that K&N 117 car. Doug
awesome to see Eric Talent leading the field. We don't see him up front too often. That Gary Yamamoto Ford Mustang looking sharp up there.
This is the time these guys are going to get TV time, is when that top 3 hit.
They've got about a 10 lap interval here to get as many guys up front as they can, right?
Yeah. So you got Doug Hevron in third, it looks like, and Jason Hughes in fourth. Then the 18th, Brian Bazell there in sixth spot. Wesley Holland in seventh. And Kyle Chadwick rounding out this group in eighth spot. Then I just want to group back. I'm looking at Vernon Margheim. I had that 68 just locked to the rear bumper, that 33 car. And I think that 68 wants to get back up front. That 68 of Michael Loveless, who started on the pole, now back in 10th. I'm not familiar with Michael Loveless. He might be new to the league. Scott, do you have any data on him?
I don't. The name rings a bell. I know he's been with us a little bit, but I don't recall any victories per se. And but he's having a great night tonight in top 10.
And then behind him is that 57 car of Greg Gilmore. And then the lawn chair driver, 92 car of Rod Minton. He's going to hate me for saying that. Just get the manifold out. He can race anywhere.
Rod Minton, I want to zoom in here on Rod Minton's car real quick. There it is. He did an awesome job. He was texting with me, I think, a week or two ago about how to design some custom numbers. He did an awesome job with that 92. His idea was to do a kind of a Casey Kane inspired 92 on that car. So came out awesome there, Rod.
It did, and I can identify it from the broadcast booth, so it even helps me out too.
There you go.
Then I was going to say something just behind him. The 95 car is Charles Widener. He's in the Harbor Freight Craftsman. I guess, does Harbor Freight sell Craftsman nowadays?
I don't know. I always thought of Harbor Freight as the Kmart of tools. I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with Kmart. Be careful, protect our sponsors. No, I just thought that was strange. I was trying to get my head around that. Harbor Freight and Craftsman. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, Craftsman's no Snap-on either. So, but if you're listening, Craftsman, I love you.
Look at the blimp view. You can see that line. They're starting to tighten up here. All these guys. I think there was a second group, maybe led by Vernon Margheim. I'm not sure where he is now, but basically, bottom line is all these guys have kind of caught each other and single filed out, making one big pack. But again, the pack racing is not quite as tight as we see those Bandit Motorsports guys doing.
Yeah, Vernon Margheim, while we were talking, had moved himself up to the lead with that 68 car. And I noticed that 68 car just pushing Vernon Margheim like crazy. So now these two guys are up in the lead. And I imagine we're going to see pit stops here shortly within next 3 to 5 laps. We'll start seeing these guys duck in.
14 laps right now on this stint. I think their fuel window they've been averaging is about 18 to 19 maybe. So probably another 3 laps to see this lead pack come in.
And if none of these guys can make it to lap 60, Scott, I think those top 3 that are off pit sequence here, Jeffrey Merrick, Justin Michael, and Rob Haynes, kind of in the catbird seat unless caution comes out, because that means all these guys are going to have to make another pit stop as well. So
I think so. And looks like these guys, we're back with the Bandit guys right now. Jeffrey Merrick, Justin Michael, Rob Haynes, putting down some awesome lap time still, 50.4. Compared to our leader, Vernon, just put down about a 51.9, so still making up time. Just put it in perspective again to draw the picture for you. I'm showing, let's see, Jeffrey Mark is 9 seconds behind the leader. And remember that they have an extra pit stop, or they've already made an extra pit stop, right? They've had 3 pit stops. I think everybody else in the field has had 2.
Yeah. I predict that they'll be over a half a lap ahead of the second pack after they come in for their pit stops, which is really impressive.
Yep. Back up front here with Vernon Margheim, Michael Loveless, Jeff Gilmore. Haven't talked much about him, huh? That 57 car behind in third place?
No, we haven't talked much about him. And then just behind Jeff Gilmore in that 57, that Jerky car. Jerky Pro. Jerky Pro car is Mike Melfeld Jr., the last car. We're under caution.
Whoa!
And that, I see the smoke, but I don't see where it happened there, Scott.
I see Eric Talon around. Looks like Trent Drum. Is Trent Drum in the Armor All car?
Yeah, Trent Drum was in the Armor All car.
Tell you what, who doesn't want to see that caution, right? Give you 3 guesses. Yeah, looks like Trent Drum, Michael Loveless down here. We'll take a look at just what happened. It's like 3 of them. Trent Drum just gets in the left rear of Loretta Lakes. 29 of Robert Mattis, I think, involved. You see Trent spinning down track.
Oh yeah, I just caught it there. Oh man, that was like a chain reaction there.
Yeah, just 3 guys.
So,
maybe they're under pressure to tighten up their draft like the leaders were, huh? Back here live off of turn number 4 with Vernon Margheim. I think leaders are going to be pitting here. This is kind of interesting, right? Because now these Bandit guys are basically going to have to reset themselves and try the strategy all over again.
Yeah, and when we go green, we'll have about 20 to go. And have any of the drivers been able to go 20 laps?
That
Solid 20 laps.
Don't know for sure. But either way, we have what, 30, just under 30 laps to go? 27 laps
that's
to go?
right. I forgot. I was thinking we were 80 laps, but I think we are 80 something, 85 laps. Yeah,
85
right.
tonight. So this stop right now, assuming the entire field stops, which it looks like they are, will this stop here will make everybody else have one more pit stop tonight before making it to the end of this race.
So we have another shout out from Martha Turheimer. Saying a big hello to the Bandit group. Lots of memories with many of the names that they've always given lots of fun and excitement. And then Christopher Howell chiming in. Well, I don't know what's up with these Bandit guys. Bandit kicking butt. Well, we'll see if they can kick butt now. Because
now's the real test, yeah.
Yeah, now they're going to be in traffic, and these guys are going to be really hungry. They've seen what these top 3 guys have done the whole race, and I don't think these drivers are going to be too keen on letting them get away again.
Exactly. Yep, that's exactly my thought.
So we might see some going for broke action here. And, you know, poor old Jeffrey Merck, I almost talk about it every race, and his luck on ovals this year has been pathetic. And he's only gotten 1 win this year, and it's been on a road course, and he's pretty much been in an incident every other race.
That's true, yep. Including last week. It looked like he had a pretty promising run, if I remember right, in the first part of that dirt race. We were talking about how it was kind of an unconventional oval, and he might have a good shot at with a good finish, but kind of fell apart in the very end of that race, if I remember right. Yeah,
and this is kind of a different kind of racing too compared to normal oval racing. So I don't know if we can throw him too far under the bus on this one, but this does take a lot of lady luck to find victory here at this place. So now, Scott, you know, speaking of strategy, these guys have ran pretty much over halfway. Obviously halfway. We're going to be lap 60 or so. You know, do you think guys have figured out who their friends are and who is going to be public enemy number 1 out there for as we get closer to 20 to go, or actually 5 to go is when the knives are come out?
Yeah, I think it's more or less the field against Bandit, or against those 3 guys anyway. So I think these guys are pretty much forced to draft with who they've been stuck with most of the night. We haven't seen a whole lot of double wide racing most of the night. It's been kind of single file drafting and try to keep it tight to keep up with those Bandit guys. So I don't think people have much experience drafting by choice with any other driver, so it should be interesting here as we double them up here, probably with 1 to go this time. They're gonna be kind of thrown into something they haven't been thrown into tonight yet with the double file, less than 20 laps to go, well, about 25 laps to go, and should be interesting how this plays out.
Yeah, and you got some really fast plate drivers up front. Yeah, Jason Hughes probably going to bring him to green. I want to give a shout out to that 155 car, Michael Melfeld Jr. He hung in there in that draft. He got his lap back there, Scott, on the lucky dog, and is going to start at the tail end of the field here. So our 16th person in points right now has found his way back to the lead lap. Currently in 22nd, it looks like.
Yeah, started 34th from Des Lodge, Missouri. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but 22nd for Michael Melfeld, lead lap. Yeah, let's see what you got, Mike. Now's the time. Take the gloves off.
Show me, Mike, the man from Missouri. And are we double? Is the light still on in the pace car? I believe so. It'll be
Lights
this
are-
time by, I guess.
Lights are off on the pace car up front.
Yeah, okay. I'm
gonna
trying to
go
get
with
caught up.
let's get a quick
do
word
it.
in here with Rod Mitten, why don't we, right?
Back 2.
Running fourth
So-
right now. Sorry to interrupt you, Rod, but running fourth in that 92 Spotify Toyota Camry. We watched those Bandit guys walk away from the entire field here. What do you got for them as it close down to 25 to go here for the rest of this race? Double filed up. You got any good teammates out there?
Yeah, I'm in here running with the Bad Apple guys. Got a good little strategy here, so we're just going to hope that it plays out. Stay tuned.
All right, sounds good. We'll let you get to work here. Good luck with the Bad Apple guys, and we'll talk to you hopefully after the race.
Yeah, I hope so. You'll see me.
All right, good luck out there. There he is. Rod Mitten, we're just talking to there off turn number 4 as he tightens the seatbelts. Lights are out on the pace car. Brian Bazell, no secret there, no surprise there. Our super speedway champ on the outside, starting second.
I just want to
outside of,
note what
Jason Hughes.
I just want to know what Rob Mitten said. He said, "I'm going to see you guys at the end of this thing." So all kinds of confidence there. So
I love it. Let's talk about confidence as we come to the restart zone. Why don't we crank it up? Here we go. There's our first crank it up of the night. Looked pretty awesome there. We're looking at David Trek here, currently in 18th, started 38th, so almost half his position so far up on the track.
So I have to laugh at something. I went back and I'm watching the Bandit guys at 87, Justin Michael, started to work their way to the front, and as they were coming up on the high side, Vernon Margheim popped out in front and said, oh, you guys are going to take me with you, and they're like, nope. They went one lane higher and just hung out Vernon and went right around him. And here they are, the top three guys that we've been talking about all night, making a run on the outside there, Jason Hughes. That'd be the 87 Justin Michael, 60 of Jeffrey Merkin, the 199 in that beer store of Ron Hayes.
Yeah.
Can't even.
We talked about how the field's #1 priority was to not let these guys get out front, right?
I'm very impressed with that. That is just a total power move there, Scott. Total power move. And they're dragging that 02 car of Heath Smith along there. We haven't talked about too much about Heath Smith other than he needs a sponsor. Trying to get a sponsor there for him. Let's see, what would be a good sponsor for that? Heath Smith, maybe Smith Bar? Heath Bar, no,
Heath Bar. There you go, Heath Bar.
Yeah, not Smith Bar. Heath Bar.
Maybe we'll take over the Mars sponsorship that Kyle Busch is losing, right? Give him the Mars sponsorship, candy bars. Yeah, at the end of this year, he's done. Well, the Mars is done anyway in NASCAR.
Well, he's holding strong with those top three right now, and then behind them, we got a lot of double file action there. Got the 49 of Chris Voiles. Haven't spoke a lot about him tonight. back there in that Crown, that blue
Hey,
Crown
wake up.
car. I guess that's the old Crown Coke car. Crown Cola? I don't know, Scott. Crown,
Yeah,
or is that an oil
Crown.
company? It
I
looks
don't
like an
know.
oil company. I was thinking Crown Cola, but anyway, pushing that the 75 car, that Dutch Bros car of Wally Terheimer, who's got some fans in the chat tonight.
There's a good view of Wally's Dutch Bros. He just got a new job. I think he retired from his other job, and then he picked up this one. From what I understand, it's a Dutch Bros coffee, and they painted that car for him a few months ago.
Hey, if you want to go back just behind them, I'm looking at Andrew Schulte. He's actually a lap down, just ahead of Doug Heveron here. What's interesting, Andrew Schulte is 2 laps down. Basically the only car that's right now in this group of cars that's laps down, and just holding up there. And what's your thoughts when you see a driver out there that's like a few laps down, but they're running with the lead pack, and you know they both have the right to race, but you know, how do you feel like that when you're out there plate racing like this?
I generally don't mind it if they're doing basically the same stuff that the lead lap cars are, you know, meaning jumping on that bottom lane, staying in the pack, staying in the draft, not being too crazy on the moves. What I don't like too much about Andrew Schulte is all that left side damage, but he's keeping pace here. And I think if anything, he can be kind of a tool for these Bandit Motorsports guys up front here, as you see him dip off of the yellow line there. But yeah, he might be a strategy tool for these guys to kind of break up some of that traffic behind them so that the Bandit guys up front can continue to pull away here.
And just behind them, I'm looking at Doug Heveron as Andrew Schulte pulled down. They got 2 wide. This is pretty much where we're only 2 wide here. We got Mike Erder in that 117 car, that K&N car, just behind Doug Heveron on the outside, and just below them in that Budweiser, that chrome Budweiser machine, Jack Watts in that 77 car. Now, I do see Andrew Schulte moving high, moving low, kind of bringing each lane along with them. I think Andrew Schulte is just trying to find the fastest way around this place with all that damage.
Yeah.
And then the 09 car of James Brown is right there behind him. Got some front end damage. I don't know if that's from a pit stop or an early accident, but if you remember, we talked about at the top of the race, that 09 car. He normally runs the 00 car, running that 09 car there in memory of Alan Larson, who used to run here in Multi-League, who passed away. So again, our condolences for Multi-League.
I do have this fan cam I forgot about here. Well, we'll use this here real quick for a couple laps here. Basically views from all around the grandstand, including from in the infield. Cool shot from in the inside of turn 3 and 4 there. You guys coming to the tri-oval. Bandit Motorsports 1, 2, 3. Keith Smith in their 4th, and then another Bandit guy, Wally, there in 5th. We talked about Wally in the beginning, right? How he was kind of way back in 30th plus, and we were worried about him, but he was in good company with the Bandit guys, and here he is, top 5. Less than 20 laps to go here.
Yeah, and those Bandit guys aren't pulling away, so the question is can anybody compete with them during pit stops too? So I imagine the pit stops are going to be interesting too, because you're going to see all these guys slam in there once and maybe try to beat those guys into pit lane, trying to hustle their pit stops a little bit, seeing if they can do what Bandit's been doing all night on pit stops.
Yeah, speaking of pit stops, we've pretty much reached the window now where we're 16 laps from the finish of this thing, which is well within the pit. As we say that, here they come to pit road. They stole my thunder here. I was going to talk about how they, all the Bandit guys are in, the rest of the field stays out.
Oh, that, trying to think of who that was. That was the 75 car, the Dutch Bros car. That he got in hot,
That's
but
Wally.
I think he made it. Yeah.
Bunch of other guys behind him, JJ Garrett, Chris Davis, Charlie Widner in, James Hearns, John Henderson rather.
Yeah, very busy pit lane right now. The majority of the cars look like they're all on pit lane at the moment.
We'll go back to the leaders here. I'm hearing a couple other guys going to be pitting this time. We'll see if it's some of the leaders. We're looking at Doug Heveron now. Started 12th, running in second behind Michael Lovelace. Comes to pit road. Here we come. Bunch of guys all get slowed up. Nice job there. Looks like Vernon Margheim on the inside there. Jeff Gilmore, Brad Ream, Jack Watts, Double O Brown we talked about, Eric Talent. Ooh, looks like Michael Milfeld locked him up again back there.
Oh no. Is it because we were talking about him again there, Scott? It seems
Right,
like
maybe.
giving him the Scott and Ken curse.
At least this time he kept the front end pointed straight at least.
So he's a bonus. So speaking
Let's
of
do
guys,
this. Let's do this real quick. I wanted to roof cam on Justin Michael as you watch these guys. Look at this. Here's a speed difference of the efficiency of that Bandit Motorsports camp. Flying right by these guys, full speed. They're probably gonna have a good, I'm guessing, 4 to 5 second lead on these all those cars that they just passed off turn 2.
yeah, and that's a good feeling when you're passing them there on the apron like that, Scott. That as you're going by them by about 50-mile-an-hour speed difference, you know that that those cars might not have the chance to keep up with that draft for sure.
There's the view from Michael Lovelace. See those 4 cars up there. Maybe Heath Smith, I think, is in that pack as well. He's stuck with them, so awesome job for Heath. But Michael Lovelace, that's going to be the most helpless feeling, huh?
It does. And Michael Lovelace, if you remember, started the race on the pole. He was just leading right before we had that last set of pit stops as things were cycling through. And I was about to make a comment on that he'd finally found his way back to the front, but he only could do that when the Bandit guys pitted.
Right. Get your TV time while you can, I guess.
Yeah, now
Looking
you got
back here
Andrew
at
Schulte.
What you got?
Well, I was going to say Andrew Schulte still being 2 laps down is now part of that 3-car team, so to speak. Another Bandit guy is picking up the rear of those Bandit guys.
Yeah, there you see it there. Still hasn't fixed that damage. Obviously, we don't have any quick repairs here at multi-league, so.
So after that cycle of pit stops, Michael Lovelace, who started on the pole, is now in 4th in the second group, and he's about 3 seconds behind those leaders. Probably more after they cross the start-finish line because we're still getting all the cars back up to song at the moment. And let's see what timing and scoring has to say. Ooh, 4.3 seconds behind that front group. Well, they've managed to keep it pretty clean and green after that one and only caution we've had so far, Scott. I kind of predicted that this is when the cautions are going to fly. I'm pleasantly surprised to say I was wrong.
Yeah, I am pleasantly surprised too. We just saw that one 3-car incident there with Trent Drum early on the race about halfway through, but so far clean and green, awesome racing here. Wally Tierhammer trying to get something done here, taking his captain. Chris Voiles behind him in that crown car, trying to make something happen on the high side of Jack Watts.
Yeah, I thought he was going to fall in there, staying on the outside there. I know right now he's pretty much only got one helper right now. I don't know if that's going to get it done in that 49 car of Chris Voiles.
Yeah, it's got to be a helpless feeling too, being in the tail end of this pack, trying to make something happen, right? You're not comfortable, obviously, sitting in 14th, wanting to finish this thing. You try to move out to make a move, and there's nowhere to go because the air just kind of packs on the front end of that car and slows you right back down. So,
and too, with 12 laps to go, you're 7 seconds behind the leaders. You're thinking to yourself, as fast as those guys are, you're not going to catch them. You're hoping for another caution. These guys back here, that's really what they're hoping for at this point, is to get that caution. Just keep it safe for now, and as they pass some lap cars there.
Yeah, we're back up front here with Justin Michael leading the pack. So what do you think is going to happen? Let's say these guys are able to stay out front. Let's assume that we go caution-free to the end of this race. What do you do if your teammates, Justin Michael, Rob Haynes, Jeffrey Merck? How do you settle this? Or I assume there's no team orders with 1 lap to go or 2 laps to go. What do you think?
I would assume there's no team orders because that would suck if there was team orders. And by the way, we actually haven't made our picks yet tonight there too, Scott. Speaking of that.
We haven't. Who are you going with?
Well, I'm kind of a fan of that 199 car. I usually pick him about 50% of the time, and I think that's who I'd like to go with, that beer store car, because kind of matches the beer I'm drinking tonight.
That's true. I like that. Beer store number 199. Man, I'm going to go for a wild card here. I'm going for our super speedway racer. Where is he? Brian Bazell. We're going to get a late caution here. It's going to re-rack them. Brian Bazell with the aggression, going back up front, win number 2 on the season on a super speedway, and the Mack Truck Chevy, Brian Bazell.
Nice. You picked you picked like I normally like to pick. You know, I like to pick those
Right.
cars that are.
You
off.
picked the
Yeah.
obvious one, so I had to go back a little bit here.
Yeah, good pick, man. Proud of you, man.
Out of my comfort zone, but
I'm watching Doug Heveron right now. He's back there in it looks like 5th or 7th actually. He was pushing the heck out of Vernon Margheim. You know, he's probably looking at that, watching those leaders slip away. They've actually gained some time on the leaders. It looks like the leaders are now only 5.5 seconds ahead of this second group here, led by Vernon Margheim in that 33 car.
cross stripe that time. 9 laps to go, inside 10.
Yep. Yeah, lost a little bit of time there. Lost 2 tenths. It looks like 2 or 3 tenths. So yeah, about the best thing that these guys can do right here, this second group with Vernon Margheim and everybody basically behind him, is hope for a caution, because these Bandit Motorsport guys have done checked out.
Yeah, you got to hope for a caution without being the caution, right?
I heard one of the drivers out there on the radio saying, "Hey, we got to stay single file. It's our only chance." I'm thinking, yeah, that doesn't seem to be working for you either. These 3 guys are just.
Yeah, I think that ship has sailed at this point if it stays green.
And it very much has the look, although the second group of cars kind of a bigger pack of about, looks like maybe 10 cars. Yeah, about 10 or 12 cars, all the way back to Jack Watts. Jack Watts is about 7 seconds behind the leaders in that 77 car, tail end of the second group. And then behind Jack Watts, leading the third group, is Charles Widener, back there in 16th. Leading a small group of about 5 cars, it looks like. It looks like he has a couple lap cars mixed in there. James Hearns, who's a lap down, and maybe Garrett Potts there too.
Charlie Winder started 16th, running 16th from Thurman, North Carolina. Talk about consistency there.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's something to be said about consistency. Of course, I
Oh,
think
and these guys are off
oh,
pace.
I see smoke.
Yellow.
I see smoke.
Yeah, I see smoke up front.
And I'm looking for it here, Scott.
I think somebody
do
blew
we-
up on. Caution is out. Yellow is out. Wow.
Well, here we
See, my
go.
pick's not looking so bad now, huh?
Yeah, it's looking pretty good there, Scott.
We're gonna back the camera up here and see if we can find exactly what happened. Yeah, it looks like Mike Erder is around off of turn number 4. Let's take a look here. JJ Garrick, Jack Watts gets involved. Mike Erder, tough spin there off of turn number 4. David Trek with an awesome save there, going around.
No, he's staying out. So it looks like these guys are staying out. So apparently with this caution, that's going to leave enough fuel in the tank to get us to the end. Kind of some interesting strategy here, Scott.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully everybody's still with us here. Having some internet problems here, but off of turn number 4, looks like the field is frozen. So good thing it happened
yeah, I
under a
see.
caution, but yeah.
I do see that, Scott. It looks like our feed is frozen here. We'll just keep going just in case it's not and YouTube catches back up.
Looks like I just lost the race. We're going to log back in here. It may take a second or two. Just stay with us, folks. We're going to get you to the end of this thing. Well, you still with us, Ken?
just stay with us, and it looks like we might be live. We got the cover screen on.
Yeah, I'm still here. I think you can probably hear me. We are live. I got to load this thing back up. We will get to the end of this thing. Appreciate everyone's patience.
Well, can you still hear us out there, Greg? Greg seems to be pretty good at texting and driving. I'm not sure that that's very smart, but at least we're under caution.
We are loaded back
Yes.
up. We are back in business.
We'll let the delay come on. See if the delay comes back. I'm still black on my end.
Yeah, looks like we're loading up.
Oh, and then I just heard from Greg Mall. Okay, I see us loading here. I heard from Greg Mall. He says, I've parked it, Ken. So I'm the idiot, not even realizing that Greg Mall parked it. What'd you do, Greg? Did you blow that Miller Fortune car up, or what happened out there? Wait for him to chime in here. I'm looking here. I don't know. He's 20 laps down, so he retired it 20 laps ago. Yeah, that must have been on that caution we had there, Scott.
Why don't I think he's muted, but we'll see if he's around. Why don't we see if he's Greg, you with us here? Greg, you got a copy?
You guys got me?
Hey, we got you, Greg. What's going on? Looks like you parked it a few laps ago. How'd your night go?
You know, it was a lot left to be desired on the table. Miller Fortune car felt okay. Just had a little bit of a miscue on pit road there on one of the pit stops, and just got us a little bit of damage there. And it was basically trying to dig us out of a hole, and just couldn't quite get it done there. So it is what it is. So we'll just go on from there. So
Yeah,
sounds
tough
good.
luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was watching you in the chat, and this whole time I thought you were texting and driving.
yeah, all good guys. If you guys want a hand with finishing out the broadcast here, I'm certainly available. So
Sure, if you want to
Bring it.
stick with us here. Yeah.
yeah, you bet.
So right now the lights are out in the pace car. We're on the backstretch. We're here joined with us Greg Mall, who had an incident 20 laps ago and parked it. Got him on the radio here, and he's going to close out the race with us here tonight. So that would be fun as we double stack him here. We're basically going to have a shootout now, Scott. Justin Michael up front. Jeffrey Merck on his inside. Justin Michael chose the outside. Rob Haynes on the inside in third. Vernon Margheim in fourth. Doug Heveron in fifth. Michael Loveless, who is our pole sitter tonight, in sixth. Heath Smith in seventh. Wally Tillerheimer, who's also got fans out there in the chat, in eighth. Brian Bazell, previous winner on these plate tracks, in ninth. And Chris Foyles rounds out your top 10.
All right. Appreciate everyone's patience with that technical problem. We are back live. Lights are out. Went through the top 10. Man, where's my boy running? Brian Bazell back there in the 18 car. Looks like about 9th or so.
Yeah, he's, I mean, you can do it. It's Talladega. We got 5 laps to go. I think it can get done. Pace car ducks in. They got to wait till that Coca-Cola symbol there at the middle of the tri-oval before they can launch it. But, hey, this plate racing, so nobody's going to get away from anybody here.
Greg, who's your pick tonight?
You know, I'm staying away from my guys in Bandit, so I don't know. I'm gonna go. Let's go Vernon Margheim. Why not? Let's go P4.
I like it. That's a good fan favorite. Vernon Margheim's been leading a lot of the drafts tonight. Obviously behind the Bandit Motorsports guys. But here we are in the green. 4 laps to go. Justin Michael leading the pack down. Jeffrey Merck, Rob Haynes drop in second and third. No surprise there. Vernon Margheim says, you know what? I'm locking on the bumper to these guys. I'm not letting them get away.
Yeah, and Vernon Margheim didn't get a great start then. You know, he really needed to stay on the back bumper of that 87 car. Couldn't quite do it, and that allowed that team strategy of Justin Michael to fall in just ahead of their Jeffrey Merck. 75 car, Dutch Bros, Wally Tilheimer. Back there in, I think now the top 5. Gonna put some pressure on old Vernon Margheim in that 33 car.
Here we go. single file out, at least the top 10 here. Coming to 3 to go. Justin Michael leading them, the pack, no surprise there.
And here's our pole sitter out there in 6th position. Just behind them, they're going too wide. But that 68 car, Michael Lovelace, up with that lead group. Doug Hevron looking to the outside, but he ain't got nobody to go with him there, Scott. I don't know if that's going to work for old Doug there.
I was going to say, Charlie Winder back there, Rod Mitten. They're getting the high line formed here. Brian Bazell, West Holland. Doug says, you know what, I'm going to jump out to the high lane because that's where we got to make some passes. Certainly not going to do it on the inside. We do have a rule here in multi-league, just like NASCAR, where they can't advance your position below that yellow line. So as long as those guys have that bottom lane formed up, it's going to be really hard to pass. Doug Hevron looks like he's getting hung out to dry here in the middle.
As I like to call the meat sandwich. Yeah, Doug, I think when he pulled out to the outside, he was hoping that somebody would come in behind him and help push him, but didn't work out. We got 2 to go.
2 laps to go. Bandit out front. Vernon Margheim trying to hold on. Looks like he's even having trouble. I don't know what those guys ate for breakfast this morning, but oh, here goes Vernon to the outside. And Wally says, thank you. I will fill in that spot and join my Bandit guys.
Yep, that probably made the same move, though. You got to go sometime. You got to see what's out there. Hoping that Wally is willing to race his teammates really hard to get that
we
win.
are wrecking back here. Looks like Doug Hevron.
Big
Chris
chuck.
Voiles takes out a camera. Woo! Big wreck back there. Still wrecking. Ken Richardson, Kyle Chadwick. Yellow flag should be out, and we're going to re-rack him for a green-white checkered finish.
Well, there you go, Scott. That was the big one of the night. You know, it's been just a few car incidents, but I would consider that pretty much the big one at this point.
That certainly was. We'll see if we can get a rewind here and see what happened here with Doug Hevron and all those cars that were involved.
Do you get the feeling that everybody's just kind of mainly being safe tonight? I know you were involved in an incident, but looked like pretty safe racing out there tonight.
You know, I think I was kind of getting that impression early on, but I think a lot of that was just due to various people in packs just running different strategies, and that kind of managed to break the 42 car field up a little bit tonight. And, you know, that may have kind of helped as far as the incident probability, but I can't imagine that it guys up front are doing as far as strategy is concerned, if anyone's going to be tight on fuel tonight. But yeah, looks like green-white checker attempt number 1. So
Well, Scott, I seen you had the replay up there. I'm sure everybody's seen it at this point. You know, it was kind of funny there. You seen Doug Hevron and JJ Garrett get together there. Those two guys have been running together all night, and it's not ironic that they find themselves with some messed up sheet metal there.
It is true. And why don't we, well, we have a second under yellow here. Let's talk to Wally Tierhammer and the Dutch Bros Ford Mustang, looking strong out there in 4th. What do you got for those Bandit guys? We saw you, Vernon, try to make a move. You closed the door, said, no, I'm going with my Bandit guys. They've obviously been the class of the field all night. And what do you got here with green, white, checker finish coming to the finish here?
Well, I see a lot of familiar tailgates here.
Right.
trunk lids here, you know, in front of me. So I don't want to abandon them. You know, we all had a plan to start with and try to stick with it. You know, we got split up during the middle of the race from some pit road things that happened, but it's nice to be back up with the guys.
Yeah, looks like you got some fans out there in the chat too. Is that who's Martha? Is that the wife?
That's my mom. She just loves to
that's
watch
your
a
mom.
race, and
Yeah.
I just turned her back on. She's been watching races for years on
right.
here.
That's sweet. Looks like she's your biggest fan out there, cheering you on. Looks like you're gonna start maybe outside row number 2, and
There you
looks
go.
like Wally Tierhammer with Bandit Motorsports locking up the top 4 here with green, white, checker. Good luck out there. Hopefully,
Hey,
talk to you at the end of this
Alright,
thing.
Well, you got Wally
Thanks, man.
here. Hang
Yeah.
on. Don't go yet, Wally. So what do you got for fuel? I mean, we're going into a green, white checker. You guys have been out there for quite some time. The fuel's got to be getting close.
I think we took about 5 gallons or so at that last pit stop. So, and we still had some fuel in our tank. So I still have 4 gallons.
All right, 10-4. Cool.
cat's out of the bag now.
Yep.
Well, I mean, they do have gas, and you do see I'm running, so it's not a secret.
There's
Good
the
luck,
wisdom
Wally.
of the night there.
There you
Good
go.
tips from Wally. Appreciate it, buddy. We'll talk to you later on tonight.
All right, man. Thanks.
So looking back here at Brian Bazell there, your pick there, Scott, he's back there in 11th, so he's going to have to bring it here in that Mac 18 car. Get this job done tonight. And then Wesley Holland, kind of just, he's rounding out the top 10 there in the 41. We haven't actually talked about Wesley Holland too much tonight. He's been really quiet. Usually he's one of those drivers out there, you know, pretty aggressive, lots of drama, and tonight it's just been kind of silent with old Wesley.
Yeah, for the freaky fast Ford Mustang, been kind of status quo, top 5, well, maybe like what 5th through 10th or so.
I got to talk about these Bad Apple guys. Isn't Wesley Holland Bad Apple?
Oh yes, he is.
Yeah, we've been talking about these Bandit guys, but these Bad Apple guys better start bringing it, man.
Yeah,
This
that group
time.
looks like it's Brian Bazell, Smoke, which is Jason Hughes, Loretta Lakes, Rod Mitten, and Wes Holland we just talked about.
So the lights are out in the pace car. We got a full lap to go, which takes us about 2 minutes to get around this place. And we're going to have ourselves a little green-white checkered. So if they make it across the lap after it goes green and they make it across one lap, then that race becomes official as they race back to the line. Now, if we have an accident before they get to the white line, before that white flag, then we'll reset them and we'll have 2 green-white checkers. So let's
What do you
hope we
think,
just
Greg?
get the one.
What do you think, Greg, for Justin Michael taking the outside line here? Looks like on the start.
You know, I was just about to ask you there, Scoot. You know, at what point on a green-white checker on a plate track do you no longer become a teammate? Are you going to be, you know, corporate America, you know, Mr. Nice Guy, and you know, help your teammates out to get a win, or are you like Justin Michael that's restart on the outside here, but you know, you want to be your own man and get yourself a checker flag here?
Yeah, that's just it. They were running in order. We talked about Justin Michael, Jeffrey Merck, Rob Haynes being the class of the field all night long with those huge leads on the green flag racing. We mentioned it early in the night around the 3/4 way mark, but about, you know, no team orders and, you know, at what point does it come down to every man for himself? Now is the real test, and 2 laps to figure it out, and we'll see. Nobody remembers who finishes second, that's for sure.
So here we go as we're rounding into turn 3, coming into turn 4. You know the story of the night. We got a green-white checker. Jeffrey Merck on the inside. He's starting in second on the outside. Justin Michael, who's elected to take that outside lane. Question is, can Jeffrey Merck bring it? He's been struggling on the ovals this year. Can he get it done tonight, or will it all end in flames? That's the big question as we set these cars up to go green.
Our points leader with 3 wins on the season's got a good spot, got a good view out front as he comes through the tri-oval. Waiting for the Geico restart zone. Pace car is in. Awesome crowd here at Talladega. Green-white checker to finish this. Everything's out. Here we go. We're talking about black flags. Looks like somebody out in the back, but we're not worried about up front. There's our flag man up in the stand. Geico 500, and green flag is out. Underway. Justin Michael on the high side. Here we go.
So I just seen here in the chat that Jeffrey Merck has a fan. One fan, Don Merck. I'm guessing that's your wife there.
That's his wife
Jeffrey,
for sure, yeah.
rooting him on. See if he can get it done.
Here we go.
Here we go. On board Jeffrey Merck. Wally in front. Wally running second. Hey, by the way, it looks like our Ken Conley tribute sticker came up there. I wasn't anticipating that it would because we only had 85 laps today, but with extended distance, tributes to Ken Conley. Godspeed, brother.
Yeah, Godspeed, Kent. Rounding here, turn 4. We're getting ready to go. 1 lap to go. As long as we don't have the caution come out, this race will be official. 1 lap
Everybody looking,
to go.
Rod Mitten looking to make some moves back here on the outside. He's got Wes Holland on his bumper there. Man, did they finally have something for these Bandit guys. There's the white flag. 1 more lap to go. Justin blocks the outside. Sees the run coming. Rod says, no,
Here
thank
comes
you.
Mitten.
I'll go higher. Let's go.
Oh, Mick gets turned. Wesley Holland gets into the back. Big wreck up front. Wes Holland, it looks like the 18 car involved.
We're
Big
still
mess,
under
but
green
we're
here. We're going to go to the
staying green.
backstretch. Yeah, Michael Loveless leading this thing with Wesley Holland in second. Heath Smith in third. Looks like Wally's still got a good piece of it, and Jeffrey Merck.
Yeah, so we're green. They're racing to the line. Michael Loveless up front. He started on the pole.
Oh,
Another
Wally
spin.
gets turned by Jeffrey Merck. Michael Loveless.
Oh, Vernon
Whoa.
Markheim into the wall. Here we go.
Wesley Allen on the outside of Michael Loveless, drag racing down to the stripe. We'll see what we got looking 3 wide. On the bottom, Heath Smith. No, it's going to be Wesley Holland, I believe.
Wesley Holland.
What a finish.
Oh, what a crazy finish. Oh, I heard that there was some drama going on back there too, Scott, on the radios. Wesley Holland, man. Great run for Wesley Holland. I don't know, how many wins does Wes Holland? This is his first win on the season, so kind of broken through that glass there for Wes Holland to finally get that win of the season there.
Yeah, it's awesome job.
Michael Loveless, we haven't talked about him all season, finishing in that second spot. These are unofficial results, by the way, but started on the pole, manages to bring it back for second, so you can't complain about that, Scott. And Heath Smith in that sponsorless 0-2 car, so rounding out your podium for tonight.
Yeah, Jeffrey Mark, Rob Haynes, Christopher Davis, Brad Ream, David Schreck, Jeff Gilmore, and Jack Watts finishing out the top 10.
So looking at our fourth place car there of Jeffrey Merck, so got involved there, got a lot of front end damage. So, I mean, at least he got a top 5 out of this tonight, Scott. So maybe things will turn for Jeffrey Merck. Beer store car of my pick in the 5th spot. And where did your pick end up in 15th?
15th, tough race for Brian
Not
Bazell.
that I'm bringing that up or anything.
Wesley Holland, burn him down on the front stretch. Awesome view here. Let's crank it up if we can. There we go. We'll try to rack up the top 3 finishers here as Wesley finishes some burnouts, and we will be back here in a couple minutes.
Looking through the radio chat here, trying to find our drivers there, Scott. Got Wes Holland up staged and ready. Got him on radio.
Got Green Room Wesley. Yeah, why don't we talk with Wesley Holland, our race winner. Awesome finish there. It looked like it was going to be hard to hold off those bandit guys up front.
We lost Wesley there. Wesley's back now.
There he is. Wesley, congrats on checkered flag here at Talladega, race number 9 in the Stone River Outfitters Cup Series. Looks like it was going to be hard to hold off those Bandit Motorsports guys out front. Didn't look very promising until about turn 3 of the last lap there. What was the view from your cockpit? No, Wes, you got us?
Looks like...
Sorry, you guys got me?
There we are, yeah. So that green-white checker there, green-white checkered finish there, Wes, what did it look like from your standpoint? Didn't look very promising until about turn 3 of that last lap. What did you see from your standpoint?
I mean, I was just committed to pushing Rod there. I mean, we stuck together the entire race, so the plan was just one of us, try to tandem up there and try to break that Bandit Motorsports deal up. So felt like we achieved that, and then got there, and I mean, there was I had too much speed, or too much momentum pushing Rod there, and I think Justin went up for the block and got pretty bad there, and somehow I made it through there, and don't even know how I came to the finish in first, but I just took a page out of old boy in the 1 car yesterday. I just tried to stay straight there, and side drafted Michael there at the end. So yeah, I don't know. I'm lost for words. I don't ever win at these tracks, so I don't know how I pulled that off.
Looks like not only at this track, but looks like other tracks you've had issues with this year so far. Win number 1 on the season. I'm sure many more coming this season. But what do you got next week? Where are we going? Dover, I believe. Is that a good track for you?
I like all those mile tracks, short tracks, anything with where you actually got to use the brakes and get down in the corner and hit a good mark. So always looking forward to Dover and whatever else is on the schedule. Yeah, I haven't had too much luck this season, and felt like I've been in contention for a couple of them, but just didn't work out. So glad we figured it out tonight.
All right, sounds good. We'll talk to you next week from Dover. Anybody want to thank for the victory here at Talladega?
Shout out to the Bad Apple guys over there. Worked with us all night long. Somehow we stayed all together, and Rod, he came over and helped us out there. So we had some extra help, and yeah, I mean, it worked out great. So shout out to those guys, and yeah, you guys up in the booth putting on an awesome broadcast. Kim, everybody, all the admins in the league. They put this on every week, and I know my pops is out there watching, so shout out to my dad.
Well, Savage says Bad Apple Baby in the chat.
That's one of our teammates. That's Loretto Lakes. That's the 24 car. He first round or early exit there, so he cheered us on up there in the booth.
Yeah, it looked like he got caught up in that 3-car incident we talked about earlier with Trent Drum, I believe it was. But awesome job. Congrats again. I'll get a sticker for you if you're interested in that, and we'll update the car for next week, and look forward to seeing that Kevin Harvick themed car on the streets at Dover. We'll talk to you then, Wes.
I appreciate it, guys.
All right, why don't we talk to her? Go ahead, Scott.
You want to talk to our third place finisher?
Yeah, hey, Heath. Great job on that third place finish there. You started in 24th. We talked about you briefly a couple times, mentioning how you were sponsorless and kind of having a quiet night. What was your strategy going into the race tonight?
Well, to be honest, with no teammates out there, I just was gonna hook up with somebody and ride and help move to the front. And I worked with Brian there a little at the beginning. Then I worked with Jason, and at the end, I was gonna go with Wesley. And on that green white checker, they crashed. The caution didn't come out. We got split up, and maybe it's the best thing for me because I ended up having a shot at it there at the end. I think it was pretty close. I didn't even look, but that had to be close.
No, it was almost 3 wide, and I was going to say that was a great job. You went into this basically with no teammates, and then you basically were competing against Bad Apple and Bandit Motorsports, and you pulled away with third, and you almost won the darn thing. So that's a pretty impressive finish there, especially at a track like this.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'd actually ran a official iRacing race earlier this week, like a 5,900 strength of field fixed race. It was crazy, and man, it tuned me up. I was looking forward to this race. I like the restrictor plate stuff. It's fun to me.
So now, Heath, you know, we were commenting on, well, me specifically commenting on that black car, but you just finished third. You got to be looking for a sponsor. There's got to be sponsors out there. I've known you to be out on the tracks super quick. When are we going to see a sponsor on that car? Somebody's got to reach out to you.
I'll be honest with you. I got 2 small boys. I've been wide open busy with sports and ball every night pretty much, and I will get me a sponsor. This third place here, maybe I can pick up some little small sponsor and get me a paint job put on the car.
Yeah, any sponsors out there listening and watched this great broadcast? Heath is a pretty quick driver. Get him a sponsor on that car and get him out there and maybe get some wins here in the future. Hey, you got anybody you want to thank tonight, Heath?
No, not really. Just I wanted to thank Multi League. And for all they do, they give us a place to race almost every night of the week, maybe every night of the week. Wanted to say thanks to you and Scott. The broadcast looks amazing, and I'm just having a blast running this series when I get the chance, and just enjoying it.
All right. Well, we'll get you back to your team. Thanks again. Congrats on that third place finish.
Thank you.
There we have it from Talladega. I think we're having radio problems with Michael Loveless. Unfortunately, I'd love to talk to him, but I don't see him down there. Do you see him anywhere?
I did not see him, Scott. So yeah, radio problems.
Yeah, so hats off to Michael Loveless, second place finishing, coming 3 wide there through the tri-oval for the finish. So awesome job. Looking forward to Dover next week. What do you think about Dover there, Greg? Is that one of your favorite tracks?
We'll have to see what that track has to offer with these new cars. You know, with next gen and the low downforce package, I can only imagine what that's going to offer. You know, with the low downforce in the Gen 6 cars, it was definitely a good time with that car. But we'll have to do some testing during the week and see if there's anything new or anything different with the next gen car, and see what we got to do as far as technique is being different with the Gen 6, and see what we have to offer next week. So
yeah, my gut says that if the Bandit Motorsports guys are anything like they were today, I don't know that you need to practice at all this week.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I don't know if we're gonna get to any green flag pit stop runs in next week, but you know, we'll put some practice in. So
Sounds good. And that's about it here from Talladega. Went through the results. You got anything else for us, Ken?
No, I think that's about all I got. I'm really looking forward to Dover. It's another one of those favorites that I usually have marked on the calendar when I'm racing. So really looking forward to Dover. Been a great race here tonight. Everybody kept it clean. Always nice to see here at Talladega. We had our incidents towards the end of the race, but I think overall pretty decent race. So yep, looking forward to next week.
Yeah, awesome race here at Talladega. Appreciate the everybody's participation. Huge field, 42 cars tonight. Hats off to Wesley Holland coming home with the last lap 3-wide finish there to take home the victory. Look forward to seeing everybody next week. Same time, same channel from Multi-League Racing Network. Myself, Ken Huber out in Montana, Greg Mall. And we'll talk to you next week. We're going to leave you with some highlights from Talladega. Good night, everybody. Have a safe week.
Good night, everyone.
Don't hold his hand. Teach a man to fish. Was it buy a man a fish he eats for a day? Teach a man to fish he fishes for a life.